Welcome to the Plug and Play production with the traveling blues guy, keeping blues alive, traveling to all corners of the country, to every blues venue. The president of the Canada South Blues Society. We bring you Mike McCann. Welcome to the channel.
Oh, thanks, John. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it very much.
Thanks for coming, taking the time to do this podcast. Tell us about what's going on next on the 20th.
Oh, okay. On next Wednesday, it would be September 20th, 6 o'clock at the Lion's Head Tavern. And we will have the first round of our Road to Memphis Blues Challenge, where I have 4 bands coming in from Windsor, Sarnia, London, and Bruce County. This year, we're also offering a solo competition. We have 2 solo artists coming in. In my opinion, and I don't have anything to do with judging, nor does our Blues Society. I bring outside people in to judge us because, I mean, it can be very tight and close. These are very talented players that come in here, and they're all doing original music and looking to take that next step. The winner will proceed forward representing Canada South Blues Society in Memphis, Tennessee in January 2024. And they'll compete against 180 countries from around the world. So it's really a sought after competition, and we've been gaining a nice reputation around here in Windsor for the type of competition that we put on. So people are, inquiring about coming around and coming to us. And, we put out a call for it. As mostly it goes out through the blues community, but with John helping out like this, it helps spread the word even more.
Keeping blues alive.
Yeah, and a lot of musicians out there might not necessarily be playing blues at the time, but everything starts there, and they always manage to find their way back,
Absolutely.
So that's what's really cool about it, and yeah, so that's happening next week. And the finals will be on Sunday, the 24th. It'll be a matinee starting at 3 o'clock. It'll just be the band competition. The solo competition will be decided on the Wednesday. On the Sunday, 3 of the 4 bands will move forward to the Sunday, and there'll be a whole new set of judges come in. Usually I bring in judges from out of town, and they're industry people that, and it's tough because, to get judges to judge and keep the blinders off, and everybody knows somebody, and, you just got to look at those sheets, and we have score sheets that come right out of Memphis, the IBC. And, as long as you follow that, you'll get a winner. I mean, a couple of them, I was surprised who actually won of ours, but that's the way they get judged. So, but it's a really good competition. And I like to thank Long and McQuaid since we're on here, because I just came from there today, and Bill Conley, the manager up there, is super with us. He's always there to help us, So, I mean, I went there, I got a complete back line all set up and ready to go for next Wednesday. So again, I want to thank Long and McQuaid, because when we do what we do, it's always good to have them to have your back too,
Absolutely.
Because I mean, there's a lot of cost involved in supporting artists today,
Yes.
and it needs to come from everybody. So I mean, I really appreciate our sponsors. Long and McQuaid is sponsor in kind, but LiUNA, Unifor, our community sponsors are big in supporting us. And and part of what we do, and again, it goes back to our sponsors. I have a thing there, if we're helping out here, no, with the food bank here, eh? Something we're doing with our shows, and here's the poster down there too, John. Yeah, we have our shows that we do, that we bring through town here. And this upcoming show, October 21st, is Justin Saladino. He's out of Montreal. He's 20-something year old. And he is the future. He's was nominated for Artist of the Year at the Maple Blues Awards last year. He's been touring all over the world. And we have them coming to Windsor on October 21st. In conjunction with our shows, we are a nonprofit, so we're trying to help out our community at the same time. And so we're asking for food donations at our shows. It's not, I mean, if you feel so inclined to do that, you can do it. But we're also helping with a fundraiser for the Unemployed Help Center Food Bank. And that happens on October 17th, is it? Is that right, John?
What's the date on here? October
Yeah,
17th,
Tuesday, October 17th,
11 till 3.
11 till 3. Canada South Blues Society and Phil Kane will be providing some nice entertainment for the afternoon. And this is all on a volunteer basis, again, to help out the food banks. And several restaurants have come together, and what they're doing is putting like almost like a poor boys luncheon together. It's $15, and these different restaurants will be putting out their best pasta dishes. And if you so inclined, you'll be getting a ballot. You can vote on the best pasta, or if you just want a takeout, you can call ahead and they'll have your takeouts ready for you there. It's all $15, and it'll take place at the Chicaro Club, and you can call ahead for your order. So yeah, we're a very community-minded organization, and we do our best to make sure everybody has a good time and enjoys a great genre of music that is so wide-ranging that you have to experience one of our shows to really understand it.
So where can one register for the Blues Challenge?
You can register through myself. I mean, posters are out, or through our website. If you go to www.windsorblues.ca, and my contact's on there, you can register through there, and you're required, the requirements for the competition, you do a half-hour set. They're judging you on original music. So, if you have original music, when you're doing a song, you should say this is one of our originals, or if you're going to do a cover, it's your cover. You do it, you make it your own. You're not copying the record.
Right. You're not assimilating.
Right,
You're just going to do your own flavor.
And there's so many good, talented musicians. I was just had a conversation on Sunday with some friends that are musicians. They were out playing and talking about, people doing original music, or guys that you can give them 10 songs to learn, and they'll learn it note for note on like off the record, and a lot of them will probably play it better than the record, But I mean, you got to make it your own,
Yes, you got to put your own spin on it.
Yeah, and there was a young band I just went out the other day, and young Grady Kaplan was a part of it. And as a blues society, his dad came to me about 2014. And so my son's in a youth band with Canada South sponsor him for Memphis for this challenge that I was talking about. They have a youth category too, right?
Okay.
So Grady at the time, he was about 15, and he met these kids at band camps when they were about 12. And the other kids were from Chicago, the south end of Chicago. And so we sponsored them to go down there. But I also had them open up for a Blackbird show back in 2015 or somewhere around there, And I couldn't pay the band, but I put their families up in hotels and brought them in, and they opened up, and I tell you.
Fantastic.
And they've been back ever since. They've been back a couple of times with the Jeff Burrows Dramathon. He had them, performing at Charlie's there. And they've gone on. Now they're, adults, are 18, 19, 20. And they're all very successful. Grady, who I went to see at the Fog the other night, is one of the most sought after lap players, and he's did some recording with Cowboy Junkies, people like that. They're all after me. Just come off tour out the summer with this big bluegrass band out from Alberta. They were touring all over, right, for the whole summer, And there's a real nice story to Grady that I don't have time to really get into now, but that's part of, like we like to think we're kind of like a mentor, and you and I went to see a Christian Bay there,
Oh, very talented
and
individual.
we're doing a Blues in the Schools coming up with Crystal Shawanda. And but again, back in about 2015, a young Christian Bay, and his mom was a principal at Catholic Central. So we put together with Stephen Cox, who was a retired music teacher from Herman. And we got with Christian's mom and Christian and an old Windsor band, Cadillac Hooker, and we put a 3-week program together at Catholic Central, so it was kind of a cool thing. It was just like trying to break ground to do a Blues in the Schools. And then we did a presentation with the school board, and we brought in Reverend Robert Jones from Detroit. And he's a noted Black historian, musical historian. And we did this presentation at Vista with all the Greater Essex School Board teachers on one of those PD days or whatever they're called. And he had them eating out of his hand. He had like he brought in instruments like from the early Africa, and when the slaves came over, and some of the early instruments they used and how they developed and how their music developed. And he, that's what Blues in the Schools is all about. Every person you bring in to do a blues has their own slant on it,
Right, their own style.
They bring their own thing to it. Ghost Town Blues Band, which are very popular with young people, and they're out of Memphis. They come in, and Matt, who's a good friend, he does demonstrations on cigar boxes, for instance, and they talk about jazz and how it, because they have hip hop. That band, they have a hip hop trombone player.
Oh,
Like
cool.
they incorporate, like Memphis is a very dynamic. You think if you go to Beale Street and all you're gonna hear is blues, no,
Variety of music.
oh yeah,
right?
you hear a lot of rap, all the clubs, but I mean, it's all different kinds of music, even country, like it's really should be a bucket list kind of place, to
Yes.
go to, and I'm getting kind of off topic on it, but it's all part of my journey too, right?
Right, because you travel all the globe,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
blues and
like
music. You
yeah.
are a music follower and
Yeah, well,
promoter
I'm a
as well.
promoter, I'm a promoter, and like, I don't get a chance to really, I get to know a lot of the artists now, but like when they come through, I'm not spending my time, being buddy with an artist coming in. I'm busy making sure, like you say, everybody's having a good time,
Right,
making sure
right.
they're taken care of, and I'm almost like security in a lot of ways, because I mean, when they first come in, they don't need to be pestered by people, they're getting, into their whatever, so that's the importance of a green room and everything else for them, so they can have that space, right? And we treat them good, and they tell people, they leave and they say, oh man, those people in Windsor, they got it going, and we gain that reputation. And I'll show you something later about some of the things I do. Like I just picked up over in the States at the airport, Paul Deloria and Annika Chambers, they called me up and said, hey, can you pick us up, and they're from Miami, Paul's from Montreal, and they were heading to Edmonton Blues Fest, I said, sure, so I went over and picked them up, and they had to go through customs, and they got, baggage, right? They're travelers too, and I always tell bands, don't use the bridge, because that's, like the biggest international border in the world, probably, where the tunnel is more commuter friendly, and so I took, and we're driving along, and I come in, got off the expressway, come in the back way of Detroit, cork down and
Right.
driving around. Annika's sitting in the back, she's the queen. She says, where are we? And I come around, she says, downtown Detroit. And she's from Houston, but they live in Miami now, right? And then I brought her around the back going out into the tunnel entrance, and just not a lot of traffic, downtown, and people walking around. You hear about Detroit,
Right.
she was really surprised. And then we come out of the tunnel, and there was like 5 or 6 cars there, and I pull up, and it's Canada, we're friendly. So I'm talking to the customs guy, because I've got all their passports and everything, I roll the window down and she's in the back, says, "Hi, they're just driving Miss Daisy," and he smiled and he didn't ask her a single question,
Wow.
and he said, "Have a nice day," and she wrote a really nice thing on her thing about, the experience coming through VIP style through customs,
The hospitality.
yeah,
you
the
gave her.
hospitality, I took them out for
Fantastic.
lunch to the Kildare House. And then they got on the train because they were on their way to the Edmonton Blues Fest Day, so they had to fly out of Toronto. But I mean, I'm known that way to, like we put them up, we put bands up, they'll call, and say, "Hey, man, we're heading through, to Chicago, the hotels you use or whatever, could you?" But we'll do better, we'll put them up in our home, for the night, and we end up going out for breakfast and, send them on their way,
Fantastic.
But I mean, that's the brotherhood of it all, and, but.
So, how long you been doing the Canada South Blues Society?
I won't say I'm an original member, but I've been a member for good 20 years. Never missed a blues fest. Got involved heavily around 2010 and took over when Ted left, and I've been president ever since. So yeah, and like I said, I take it on as music is my passion. It's always something I always talked about. My friends, a lot of friends are musicians, and in Windsor, coming from Windsor, Windsor at one time was, a mecca for entertainment, for music.
For sure.
And I think they've lost their way, to be honest with you, and buddy of mine, and, well, everybody has a pipe dream, just like you're doing here, they need somebody here to really promote it, do something, and then this opportunity, I kind of fell into it, and to be honest, I'm kind of a quiet dude,
You quiet?
Well, no, but I know my passion is different,
Yes, yes.
But I mean, I mean, I'm not out there. I say quiet. I'm not out there, like this here. I just like to do what I do.
You're a blues guy.
I'm a blues guy.
So September 20th, be at Lions Head.
Lions Head Tavern, September 20th, $10 cover. We suggest. Again, it all goes to the winning band. We'll be doing some other benefit type shows for them to raise money in the future. So check out John's podcast along the way. I'm sure he'd be glad to pass along the info. And if you wish to become a member, you can actually become a member online on our website. Go to windsorblues.ca. You can do everything through there. You can buy tickets to our show on there, everything, all kinds of info on there. If you want to learn about Windsor, Canada South Blues Society, check us out.
Be there, Lions Head, on the 20th.
Thanks, John.
Blues is the root, the rest is the fruit.
He's learning.
Yes. Thanks for having you.
All right, thanks, John.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. That was better.